Good morning, Vietnam. How we doing, everyone? Welcome to the stream. Let's just get this quickly set up. I've got to go live as well, and we'll go over yesterday's trade, and then we'll see what we can catch today. Could be a good one. Get a brew. Should always have a brew anyway. Young blood on Welcome to the stream. Another day of live trading with me, Peter Crow from Relentless. We're just quickly setting up. We're live on YouTube. Head over, have a look at our charts. Good morning, Anuraj. Good morning, mate. Welcome to the stream. Guys, if you can drop us a like, subscribe to the channel, put your notifications on so it'll let you know when I'm on live. So I trade most weekdays, from 8 AM London session. And obviously some days I'm busy and I don't have sort of Forex take over my life, fit it into my life, which is what it should be like really. Just quickly setting up, and then we'll do a top-down analysis on the pairs we trade. Firstly, we'll go over the trade we took yesterday, and then we'll do a top-down analysis and see what we can catch today. Where's me clock gone? Where's me clock? So annoying. Got a song stuck in my head. The time here, mate, is 2 minutes past 8. What about you? Where are you from? Where are you watching from? 12:32 in India. Ah, India. Nice. I bet it's red hot. What's the temperature like? It's red hot. We can't handle 30 degrees here. We've had like 30 degrees in the UK and everyone's like been struggling. Oh, delete this. I don't know why my clock keeps disappearing, which is annoying. If anyone knows the answer how to do it, let me know. So it doesn't disappear. You shouldn't have to do it every time, surely. Well, it's Friday. The weekend is here. I love my weekends. Love the weekends. In my house, it's proper chilled. Okay, welcome guys. If you're joining on TikTok, welcome. If you want to see what we're trading today, what pairs we're on, head over to YouTube. The link is in the bio. Head over to YouTube. You can see our charts and see what we're trading today. So yesterday, I took, what was it? I think it was about 250 quid, say. 246 quid, which was a partial from a trade. It wasn't too bad. So what we'd had yesterday is, what we'd identified on gold is when the 6 hour closes below this level, yeah, there's only one reason it's doing that, and that's because it needs to come and break a low. Even if it wants to drive up, it's got to break a low, and that's what we identified. Now, where's the low? Well, the low is here. And if you look what happened, price came down. That was our take partial, move to break even area, yeah, which we highlighted yesterday. So as soon as we tapped that, we then moved to risk free. And if we go down to lower time frames, you can see price took a while to get through, man. I thought it would take a while, but actually closed a bit further on from that. But yeah, price came down. We took partial. This is why I like to take partial, because when you're in trades, right, and you get stopped out at break. So my priority is to get the risk off the table quick. That's why I have such a high win rate, because I get the risk off the table quick. So I like to get the risk off the table quick. And once I get the risk off, if I get stopped out, I feel like I haven't sort of gained anything, if you like. So that's why I always like to take a partial from that area. So this was another win. I think I need to change this to this year's streaming really, so it looks a bit better. Yes, mate, I am. I do every morning. Well, I say every morning. I'm being on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, to be honest with you. So what I normally trade in-house for members, but we've just started back up on YouTube. These are our stats so far. So this is based off a 50k account, prop account. So all the trades taken are based around the prop firms. So you shouldn't be violating any rules, anything like that. Or even if you're on a challenge, you shouldn't be violating any rules. And this is what we've took so far in May, June, and July. Every trade taken, okay, is only taken. We've had one loss we've had so far, believe it or not, and that was in May. Every trade taken has got its own YouTube link where we took it on stream. Okay, I'll say we had one loss. We did have this is classed as a break even for me. Where was it? June, I wasn't here. Minus 54. It's technically classed as a break even for me, but that was us getting stopped at break even, but it's because it was just a few pips out. That's all. But other than that, yeah, we're doing pretty good on stream. Okay, so join along. If you're wondering how I trade, literally just jump on the streams every day. You don't understand. 3 months of getting on these streams every day. I'm telling you now, you'll be, and not just putting it on in the background while you're working or whatever. Getting on the streams and listening to what I'm saying. 3 months you'll be placing your own trades, and you'll be tipping over to that profitability stage. Okay, but it's just whether you can get on. A lot of people can't get on at 8 o'clock in the morning, especially in the UK, because everyone goes to work. Okay, so let's do a full top down on gold, and let's see what's going on, see what else we can grab today. We were expecting the gold to drive through, but obviously didn't. So we have to do another full top down analysis. And a top down analysis is like, it tells you the full story, and then you can work out your setups, set your ambushes and things like that. So gold. Now, monthly doesn't really tell us much. All we know is we had 2 doji candles. We had 2 doji candles the previous months, right? And then this month's opened up and pushed up. You haven't got much of a bottom wick. Yeah, so could we expect this monthly to flip to the downside? Could do. So what you tend to get with doji, anything else can happen now, especially with gold. So what you'll find is, just because it's doji doesn't mean that's a reversal, that you're gonna come down, especially with gold. I know when you all start to learn to trade, you get taught, you know, evening star, morning star, and all that type of stuff. But we haven't had anything yet. All we've had is a doji candle. And what gold can do is, gold can print a doji candle and then still carry on with the trend. Yeah, so it means nothing at the moment. So the monthly doesn't tell us much, so we go down to the weekly. Now, what is the weekly telling us? And look at this horrible range. Well, I say horrible. We've got some pips in here within this zone. So if we mark this zone then on the weekly. So here is the weekly zone for me. For me, that is the weekly zone, right? And the way I trade is I act upon what we see, and whatever range price is in, then we should be filling the rest of that range. There's only 2 things what can catch the way I trade out. Fake outs, but we can also exploit them, and create new data, right? Because all my information comes from previous data, because all trading is a probability. What has price done in the past? How often has it done that in the past? And if it's done it a lot, then the likelihood of it happening again is pretty high. So it's just about probability. And to be honest, that's all trading is really, probability. So if we forget the moving candle what we're on the weekly, so we'll ignore this one what we're on and go off the previous one. Where has price closed? Let me zoom in. So price is still closed respecting this level. Therefore, what range are we in? Well, we're still in this range for me. Okay, we're still in this range. And what price does is, price bounces in between ranges until it breaks out. And if it breaks out, like we did here, that means you're then into the next range. You can get a retest, carry on, or you can get a fake out back into the area, and then still you're bouncing up and down the ranges until you break out. And a breakout just looks like a candle closing out of that area. Yeah. So we haven't technically broke out. We've had two bullish candles, but we didn't break out to the upside. So therefore we're still in this range. So where should we be going then? Well, technically we still need to come down to fill this range, which we didn't do here. So could this just be a break, retest, to then come through? That's what I'm expecting. Until price closes on the weekly above 3358, I'm only looking for sells at the moment on gold. Yeah. Then you've got to ask is, can price drive down with one candle? Right? If we look left, well, if we look, this drove up with one, this drove down with one, another one. So yes, the answer is yes, it can do. And then we've got to work out and go, okay, well, what day are we on today? Friday. So we've only got one day left for this weekly candle. Price is currently here. Can price with one daily candle drive from here to here? Well, how would we find out? Simple, we just go down to a daily time frame. Let's have a look at the daily candles. Can one daily candle drive all the way through? Let's have a look. So you've got a candle here with a wick, which does drop quite far, but only drops to around these levels. You've also got, these ones didn't play out. This one, nearly there, drives through. This one didn't drive through. This one didn't drive through. This one drove down to here as well. So yeah, twice it sort of drive through, maybe three times where it's drove through to them levels, but didn't actually come down to 3201. So then are we thinking, okay then, if we go back to the weekly and the probability of the daily driving down, it's not that great. So the probability of this weekly driving again is not that great. So could we expect just a bearish close like this? If we got a bearish close like this, that would probably confirm that we are still respecting this level. Therefore, what's going to happen with the next weekly candle? Well, that's probably going to be the one what does the actual move, what we've been waiting on really for a couple of weeks. So next week basically would be fairly straightforward, but that's only if this weekly closes bearish. Okay. Now, can this weekly flip to the upside and drive up? Yes, it could. Yes, it could. But the way I trade is I act upon what I see. And currently, I haven't broke above. I'm still respecting this level. So I would need a closure above there to take buys. If this weekly flips bullish and closes bullish, then next week we can look for buys. Okay. But at the moment, I'm only looking for sells. And if we get this weekly close like this, fantastic next week. But how does that help us today then? Well, we know the daily doesn't tend to drive all the way through, can push down a bit. So could we potentially get a consolidation day today? Which would be a bit shit, because it means we're just going to mess about. Potentially we would have to go down the lower time frames to see what's going to happen. Let's have a look if there's any news. Half one. So we have got high impact news around half one. That's going to be interesting. So let's go down to the daily then. So what is the daily doing? And all we're doing is we're trying to look at what price is done and try to identify what price is done previously to copy it basically. So like I mentioned earlier, two things catches out: fake outs and new data. And at the moment, I actually think price is creating new data at the moment. Unless, if we look at this, So came from these levels, came from these levels, came down to these levels, came back up to these levels, down. See, they all come through to this for the reversal. I'm just going to mark this area up, because this is an area you can also reject from. This is the weekly, and this is more the daily. I'm just not sure the daily is going to get down to that. Going back up, we still didn't break above 3358. So all the times we've closed respecting here, what have price done? Then we close bearish. So what I would like to see, if we can come and create a new high, then I'd look for sells to the downside to at least these levels today. This would be my target today, my daily target at 3287. Yeah, but I think I need to break the highs first. So what I want to see is, I want this, because I want to rule out the bullish to push past this wick. Once I get that, then I'm looking at zones on a lower time frame where price starts breaking back in. So as price moves up, as price comes back in, then I look to take trades within that. Okay, that didn't work out quite well, did it? So yeah, I'd like a top wick really. I'd like a top wick. I need a pull back above that. If I can get a pull back above that, we could look for sells. I mean, a smaller time frame might look different, but yeah, I can still see this daily flipping to the downside. The only thing what might not do is we have broke a low now. We have broke a low, so we have got liquidity to push up if we want to push up. But I still think we need to break the high first. I think we're going to break a high, whether it's going to be this high or this high, and then we can potentially maybe come down. How long is that going to take? That's the question. Would we take the buys up? So we're bearish on the daily, we're bearish on the 6. We're hitting a minus support on the 6 hour. Four. It's got an hour and 40 left to close on the 4. So if the 4 closes bullish, we could potentially get a steep bottom wick and then take buys up to this high, because there's only one reason you're probably coming up, and that's to break a high. But in order to catch the sells, so I think if I got a fake out back into that, so if we can get a fake out on the 1, so let's say this 1 closes out like that. Yeah. That would be 1 hour left of the 4. So 1 hour left of the 4, so we couldn't really take the 4 for the buys up. But if we then got a fake out back to the downside like that, that would be another high broke from there, even though I want this one broke. I would look to take that down. That might indicate the flip of the daily. Interesting. best not to say. I'll get done for copyright on here. I'm not good of a singer. Are we going to reject from here? You can also reject from here where we're at now, really. There's a wing back area here. And we need to go over yesterday's NAS as well, swoop entry. That got stopped. It did actually pull away into profit. We'll go over that shortly, guys. What it is, I don't tend to mark them down because they don't play out. It's so low of a loss, quite insignificant. So there is an area here where you can reject from. What this is doing now. Nothing's actually broke out as of yet. The 15's broke out. This 15's got no top weight. Could we see? Quick to fill to the downside. For me to take buys up, right? For me to take buys up, I would need, let's say this hour closes like this, and the next hour pulls back and taps previous support. We could then get buy stops on the other side to come up, okay? But also, if we don't get activated and price closes back in, then I'm looking at sells to the downside. That's what I'm after. But we're just not there yet. It is in an area where you can reject from now. I'm just not sure what's going to do it. I'm going to leave it on. No, we're not, because the 15 broke out, so we wouldn't have took that anyway. Yeah, so there's nothing we can really do until the hour closes, guys. So we'll see what the hour does. But yeah, we've got options. We've got potential buys up, and we've also got potential sells down. But ideally, I need this area getting tapped, unless we get a nice fake out here. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Let's quickly go over the NAS trade we took yesterday. So this is what we call a swoop entry, right? We go down to 5. So the way swoop entry works, right? It's like a normal trade, but you're using lot sizes where your stop loss. So I average between 50 and 100 pips for my stops, okay, average. So a swoop entry is basically saying, okay, there's a chance that this daily could flip to the downside, and if it does, you've got a huge range. And this was like this is a 21 to 1 risk to reward, okay, huge, okay. So it's basically saying is, what are you willing to risk to see if this is the rejection area for the daily to flip to the downside? So what we noticed on NAS is the daily, we had a breakout here, and we were seeing if we were going to get the fake out. And if we were going to get the fake out, the zone to reject from was this area, which we identified. So we were thinking, okay, well, if we do reject from here, the likelihood of it closing like that, if it closes like that, the likelihood of us having to come down to break this low is pretty high. Okay, so it's a case of with swoop entries, what are you willing to risk to see if this is the flip? And because it's high risk to reward, you can put a very low risk on it, but with tight stops, just to see if it is. So for example, this was on a 50k account. I was happy to risk $100 to see if this was the rejection area. Yeah. Now, if I go down the lower time frames, it actually would have played out, but it just missed us. So it didn't activate. It's on the first touch. So this area here just missed us by a couple of pips. As you can see, it comes back down, taps. We would have took partial. We would have moved to break even, and then we would have been stopped at break even. But it didn't. And then price came back up. Activated us here. We did actually push into profit. 46 pips. But remember, this is low risk, so it wasn't that much. Because we were looking for the big risk to reward. So if this was $100, that would have been maybe $200. So yeah, that's what a swoop entry is basically. If they don't play out, because it's all over a loss on them, it's honestly, I don't tend to mark them down. But yeah, that's how we do swoop entry. So if you hear me say, right, swoop entry, it's dead low risk, and we're just sort of testing to see if this is a rejection area. Okay, so let's do a top down on NAS, see what's going on now while we wait for gold. And then we'll go and check oil, because we have got a pending order on oil. Let's get rid of this. This. Okay, so what I need to see on NAS is a retest of 22132. So I need another retest of this zone here. And once we retest this zone, then I can work out what price it's going to do. Because at the minute we're pushing all-time highs. I need to see us either reject from here to come back up, and then we can take buys around here or above the breakout, or if we do close back into this area, then we could look at sells to come down. But at the moment we're just breaking out. Yes, it's on a higher time frame, these are weekly candles. Well, it's really difficult because we're all-time highs, and the previous data I've got to go off is none. Got no data to go off, and that's what we use. So NAS is a bit of a tricky one now, because we are all-time highs, and the only way you can get in is on lower time frames. That's why we're looking at swoop entry on the daily. But I like to have the higher time frames. And again, some people think I'm overly cautious, but this is why I have such a high win rate. Yeah, it's because I am maybe overly cautious. But I like to get the risk off the table, and I won't go into a trade if everything's not right. Unless it's a swoop entry, obviously. I'm happy with the risk on that. So, what could we expect with NAS? I'm just not going to touch it until we get some sort of structure built. So yeah, I'm going to leave NAS. No trade on NAS. So let's check oil, because we have got a pending order on. So we've got a pending order. We're in a swing trade on oil already. Okay, we're in here. We're risk free on this. I took most of the profit out of this first trade, and our target is actually up in 106 levels off the weekly. So with oil, I only sort of go off the daily and weeklies. So with the weekly closing, so what we were expecting with this first trade is price to come up to 80.37 and then reject back to this trend line, and then decision maker is going to happen here. We could look for more entries to come up, or if we close back below, we could have been looking at sellers to come down. But what happened is news broke out, and well, Iran and America bombed Iran, and then we had this huge drop to the floor. Okay, it's settled now. But what is price going to do now? Is it going to continue on its journey up to 80.37? Or are we going to mess about here? Is this just a break, retest to come back down? Well, remember what I said at the start? We've got to act upon what we see, and what do we see? Well, the previous weekly, zoom in, has closed back into that range. Okay. So when we're back in that range, the range we're in now is this one. This is the range we're in. And every time price closes back in here, you come and tap at least 71.10 at least, right? So what we've got is the weekly close back in, and then we've had a bottom wick on this weekly. So if this weekly does flip to the upside, it's highly likely that we're going to be tapping at least 71.10 at least. Okay, I'm not saying it's the move to drive up, but I'm saying at least we're going to tap that. Okay, so that's what we call an advantage point. You can't beat a latte in the morning, can you? Nice latte. So that is our advantage point. And you need an advantage point because that's where we take partial and we go to risk free. We get the risk off the table quick. However, we're on Friday. So we have Friday, there's 1 day left of this week. So is this weekly going to flip today? Well, let's have a look at the lower time frames. Can the daily flip all the way back up? In order for this weekly to flip now, we would need one daily candle looking like that. That's what we would need to see from today. Can we get that? If we look left, has the daily ever done that? 1 day. I mean, there's some big candles here, but we haven't flipped all the way up. Maybe one here. So that nearly makes it. Nearly makes it. Well, here's another one here actually. So maybe, yeah, we could. Maybe we could. Flip all the way up. Another one. Okay. Yeah, it's happened a few times. So yeah, maybe we could flip all the way up. So could we leave it on? Yeah, I think we can leave this on. We can leave this on till the weekly closes. And the good thing with swing trades, you always sort of have times to get out really. If you don't like the look of something, it'll always give you a chance to get out. So yeah, we've got a buy stop above the weekly and expecting the weekly to flip to the upside. If the weekly closes back below 66.40, then we'll just delete and we'll just reassess. Okay, so that's all we've got going on at the minute, guys. XRP. Ooh, I don't know if he's in XRP, but new all-time highs. Fantastic. Look at this on my XRP here. I was about to buy a lot of XRP, but it didn't tap my zone. Look at that. Just missed my wingback area. Oh well. Yeah, I was expecting price to come back down to $1.50. And then I was stacking up, man. But yeah, we're looking good on XRP. That's nice. Okay, back to gold. Let's have a look. So we know the daily might not do much today, right? This is the thing. So we're still going to try and catch them. I'll be on till probably 10 o'clock at least. What we're after is this daily to break the high, and then I'm looking for sells back below 3343 for the daily to flip to the downside to down these levels 328. Might have to bring this a bit closer. What's this here? No, I'm pretty happy with it actually. So yeah, that's what I'm after, guys. Unfortunately, we just gotta wait, and that's what trading is. 90% waiting, 10% execution. We might have a buy up, but in order to see a buy up, I'd need a steep bottom wick. So for example, if this 1 hour closes like this, and then the new 1 hour comes down, taps previous support, I'll have a buy stop on above the hour. I won't take any wing backs, it'll just be a buy stop. So something like this, 1 hour close, pull back. Oh, will we actually? I don't like this. Yeah, the 1 hour there, then a bearish, then a bullish, then a bearish. Okay, I don't like that. Tap. If we can identify where price tends to tap at least, I think we're nearly there though, aren't we? Nearly there. there's another tap there. We could actually reject from this zone. Straight through, straight through. Tap. Rejection there. Straight through. Another rejection there. Ooh. Do like that. What's difficult is you would need stops like above 3353, which is you couldn't really get a swoop entry on. It's like 50 pips. Not really for me. I much prefer the sells, to be honest with you. I ideally want to come up, break this high, and then as we come back down, take sells below 3343. That's what I'm after. That would probably confirm at that point the daily flipping to the downside to drive, if it's going to drive. When am I up some of these zones though? Am I up that? That as well. Yeah, I need to break the highs, guys. It's only at 8:30. I feel like I've been on for ages. Oh. Yeah, so that's me top downs done. If you've got any questions, drop them in the chat. If you are watching on TikTok, on YouTube, drop us a like, subscribe to the channel, or follow us on TikTok. I'm not really clued up on TikTok, I'll be honest with you. I'm just starting on it. Drop us a like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps with the algos. We've done a top down analysis. We've got potential setups on gold. We've got a pending order on oil. What we'll keep an eye out, and that's all we've got going on today. It's Friday. I'll be on till probably at least 10 o'clock. By all means, reach out to me. I do answer to every DM. I'll get back to you. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm just going to do a bit of admin while we wait. So again, any questions, drop them in the chat. I'm going to do some administration, things I need to do. And yeah. I think the sun's going to be out today, which is nice. Oop. We're pushing, aren't we? Yeah, it's took away that advantage point, so we can't take any buys up. And get the fake out, fantastic. Welcome, guys. I don't even know what I'm looking at with TikTok. All sorts on the screen. I can't even tell you how many people is watching.
Yeah, the council's not owned it anymore. We came to a couple here. It was at my
We're having an early finish today, Friday, 12 o'clock, I'm done. Sun's out, I live right on the beach, you see. So not the way my day goes, I trade in the morning, do a bit of admin, and then straight down the beach if the sun's out. On my garden, actually. We've had like 30 degrees, weather's been lovely. Proper nice. Yep.
Complete ebooks to guide your journey step by step.
It's pushing up, guys, which is nice. What we want. Break these highs. That would be the daily giving us a nice top wick then. And if the daily does flip back down, it's highly likely it's coming down to create a steep bottom wick where we can grab some sells from 3343 down. But you've just got to wait, and that's all trading is, you know. You've read the chart, you've worked out your sort of, I call them ambush points, where you're going to ambush price, where you think, okay, well, price could potentially do this. If it does this, I'll jump on it. But you've got to wait. So you set your ambush, and you've got to wait for them to come into your ambush for you to then execute the trade. And that's all it is. This is why I always say it's like 90% wait and 10% execution. This time, I mean, I don't do it anymore now, but last time I was on YouTube streaming, last year, the year before, I would stay on all day. Sometimes I'd be on until 3 o'clock, from 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we'd grab 15 pips. But so you need to bring trading into your life and work it around your life, not the other way around. Otherwise, trading will take over your life. And you don't want to be trading all day anyway, because the more you trade, the more risk. It's like running into no man's land. You got to run in, grab your money, and get out without getting shot. But the more times you run in, eventually you're going to get shot. That's a bit what it's like.
to go up on Mulholland Drive and park
every night.
and visualize seeing yourself as...
Yeah, I would visualize,
This is when you were broke and poor.
Right, having directors interested in me and people that I respected saying, I like your work or whatever that is, and I would visualize things coming to me that I wanted or whatever. Drive home and think, well, I do have these things. They're out there. I just don't have a hold of them yet, but they're out there. I wrote myself a check for $10 million for acting services rendered, and I gave myself 5 years, or 3 years maybe, and I dated it Thanksgiving 1995. Just before Thanksgiving 1995, I found out that I was going to make $10 million and dollars.
Choose your fighter. Lightning inspired. Fight.
Driving. Lovely pump. Looks like we're going to break that high now, guys, which is great. Where's my docs? So there's the hour close now. You've got no top wick on this hour. Let's see what happens. You've got no top wick on this hour either. Here we go. Right. Okay, guys, so we've had the 1 hour close out. We haven't got much of a top wick, to be honest with you, but it's tapped an area where we can just reject from. I think this hour is likely going to flip to the upside, which is nice. But even if it doesn't, this is probably enough for me, really. So if you look at the daily now got a steeper top wick. So if this daily is going to flip, if it is going to flip, could we grab something like this? And if so, I mean, look at that. Do you know what? If, I tell you what, guys, this is what I'm going to do. Swoop entry on here. Closed. Imagine another tap of the highs. Ooh, the 2 hasn't closed yet. We're close. Let's see if we can break the highs one more time. It might take a 5 minute. Okay, we are close. I'm gonna go make a cup of tea. We're close. Probably 10 o'clock we might have a trade on, guys. Might even be early. I'm gonna go make a cup of tea. I'll be back in 5-10 minutes and we'll see if we can grab something. Bypass the what? Are we looking? Nice drop. What are we looking, guys? Right. I don't know if there's any comments. How do you see if there's any comments on here? The last thing I want is if somebody has commented, I'm not ignoring it. Where? So, this is where we're at. 1 hourly. What we're looking for is, we've had this 1 hour here, we need a fake out back into this area. And that hopefully should indicate that the daily is flipping to the downside. So if I flip, can we see the daily flip to drive all the way down to 3287? That's what I'm after today, basically. So if you want to see more in detail, head over to YouTube and join our live. You'll see the chart on there. And if you're into trading, you know, or if you're not into trading, you're looking to get into trading, drop me a message. I can tell you where to get started. But yeah, we're just weighing out at the moment, guys. I don't think this is driving down at the moment. I think we might need to break the high again, which is not bad. But this, I'd be happy with this if we get a fake out. Whether we're going to get that fake out, this is the thing. Give me bloody phone. I need to get an iPad. Of course. The England women were lucky last night, weren't they? Yeah. What's this? Samsung. TikTok on here. Young Lord, always thinks there's tomorrow. Well, this little place where I trade in, it's actually called the Crow's Nest. Yeah, it's what it's called, the Crow's Nest. I'll give you a little spin now. Are you ready? Obviously, you got the logo on the back, got a little cloud up there, and when you put music on, it also sort of dances with you. And then obviously you've got my charts on there, the screen's got my other stuff on. Nice shelf with some. Got me army stuff up there. I have got. What's that? That actually says XAUUSD for gold. Rock lamp, you've got to have a rock lamp, don't you? You've got to have a rock lamp. And then I've got, I'm showing me whiteboard because it's got my green howard flag. That badge on there. If you're into Lego, a nice Defender and a V-dub. That Defender pissed me off because I finished it, and then all of a sudden the wheels don't go around the right way. So one wants to turn that way and the other one turns the other way. So I need to redo it all again. So yeah, bit of an idiot move. Yeah, a nice Samsung there, I'll use that. TikTok in future. Yeah, so a lot of waiting, guys, a lot of waiting. And you can imagine for me, so normally we've got some members on the Discord and they can chat to us on voice, and you'll be able to hear them in a couple of the other streams. But when you're on by yourself, this is why I sort of do it on YouTube, because it's just boring. Trading's boring. Like I say, it's loads of waiting, 90% waiting, 10% execution. So it's always nice to have a community. If you're getting into trading, it's always nice to have a community who we can sort of touch base with, fling ideas off each other, and just chew the fat, basically. Because, you know, the guys who get on with me in the morning, we talk about all sorts. So we'll be talking about conspiracies, football, we talk about anything, basically, while we're waiting for a trade. And then when the trade happens, fantastic. We're in, we've made some money, and at the next day. That's how it works. But what I am going to do, guys, on TikTok, I'm going to love yous and leave yous. I'm going to leave you to it. I'll be back on Monday, all next week probably, with a new iPad, because I need to do stuff on my phone. So I'm going to love yous and leave yous. So for the people watching on TikTok, if you do want to carry on watching us, get yourself over to YouTube, and yeah, you can watch us from there. I'll catch you later, guys. Peace out. Young blood always thinks there's tomorrow. And if you I'll be back in a second. Getting warm today. Here we go, come to break the high again, exactly what we wanted. Got this little timer thing. That helps with when you've got loads of things to do. You can put a timer on, so if you want to set yourself the time, so okay, I've got 30 minutes of doing some edits, and you put this timer on. Pretty handy. But my batteries are dead. Can't use it. Unfortunately. Okay, we're breaking the high again, which is nice, what we want.
Shit.
If you follow me.
I said I'm only on till 10, guys. Close bullish. Can we break the high again? 30's closed bearish. Don't really need me much. I need an hour close below here. Okay. So if we can get a 1 hour close below here, sells below 1 hour closure. That's what I'm after, and that's just for because it's obviously not going to happen in this hour, I don't think. Once we get a huge drop like that, but I just can't see it happening. We've got 25 minutes. I'll be on till, yeah, I'll stay until 10, right? I'll stay until 10, but I can't see it happening. But if we do, then I'm looking to take it. So basically, I'm after closures below 3343, and I'll be taking sells down. That's what I'm after today. That's the only thing I'm after. So I'll stay on till 10, see if it happens. If not, I'll just jump off. But this 30's going to drive down. Or... I'm going to chill all day today now the sun's out. Bit of sunbathing. Well, I'm online. Sorry guys, I'm just talking. Can we see a proper drop? Boring, innit? I told you. Trading's boring. I wish I could put like TalkSport over the top of this or something, but with copyright with YouTube, I just can't do it. Oh, can there's 30 tries, 5 minutes left. It's not going to happen, guys, is it? It's not going to happen. 3 minutes, guys. Okay, so that's the hour close. So we're now 10 o'clock. Let's have a look what because this is also the 2. So the 2's broke out. But no, it hasn't. The 2's respecting this level. Again, we're respecting this level. Okay. Respecting this level. Have we been up to this level? What's this here? No, I don't know. Yeah, so the 2's respecting here. If we don't have a bottom wick, I might get a, and we push up, I might get sell stop on. What's the 3 doing? So the 3 again, respecting this area. But you can tap to these levels, this is the thing. But I would imagine bottom wick. You're likely going to need a bottom wick. What is that? 4. Could this be this drop here? Do we need to break the high? Yeah, guys, I'm going to leave it. I am very interested though if we close below this level. Once we start closing back below here, ideally what I want to see is I want price to come up to our pullback needed. Okay, break this high. And then as we come back down, I'll be selling all day. Because I'm expecting the daily to push down if it's going to do that. Okay. So I'm going to love yous and leave yous. Thanks for jumping on the stream. The guys who did jump on the stream. If you're watching on the recording, again, thanks for watching the recording. I hope you learned something. Even if you learn one little thing from me, then I'm happy. I'm here. I trade on the mornings anyway. I'd rather trade in front of people where I can have some conversations, because trading's boring. So that's why I do this. Okay. So I'm not here to sell you courses or anything like that. Yes, we do have courses available and strategies and indicators and things like that, but that's not what this is for. This is pure educational, okay? And also keep me company, because when I trade on the morning, it's quite lonely, to be honest with you. So it's nice to meet new people and speak to new people. But yeah, so I'll always jump on. I will see you next. We should be on I believe a full week. I need to check my diary, but I think we should be on a full week next week. Other than that, guys, I'm gonna love yous and leave yous. Again, I'm taking sells below 3340. I'm not taking any buys today. Good luck if you're in, and I will see you on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. I'll see you on Monday. Catch you later, guys. Toodaloo.